We stump more chumps today on Out of Character. Hi, and welcome to Out of Character. I'm Jason Corley.
I'm Scott Forster.
I'm Don Dem.
And assisting us today in engineering is Aaron Lee Newbern.
Hello.
So the last time we talked about some questions that Chad sent us on pulpgamer.com.
And we answered one.
We answered one, but it was really good because Scott got to give us his expertise on different
for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great. I just sat here and listened.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Go back.
Yeah,
learn language.
About languages, and actually, we talked a little bit about. We touched on another subject that Chad asked about. And Chad asked this one specifically for Don. He says, as resident geography whiz, I'll ask you a world-building question. He's looking for plot hooks for a group that is helping to manage a remote colony in a hard-edged space exploration scenario.
Yes.
So what would you bring up for, let's say that you're running this game, the players have decided we're going to be managing this colony. What are some of the things that might happen or problems they might face that could be interesting in that?
Yeah. I think the first thing you need to do is set up a language.
Oh,
for
God.
The first thing is to overcome the language barrier. Actually, which is kind of relevant. I mean, there's a lot of variables that get thrown in here. I mean, when the way the question was posed, it's like, well, what kind of things does primitive man, face as challenges? But I think those are a lot. That's a different question because when you look at a primitive society, you're going to have nomadic. People are going to, follow the resources.
Right.
When you look at colonizing another planet, you already have that mindset of putting down roots. You're already thinking about agriculture.
And we've already got technology. We've already got super high technology, but we may not have an unlimited amount of it. What
you have is a completely different location. And there's two major things going on here. One is, what is the skill set of your people? All right.
Okay.
And first off, if you've crash landed, now your challenges are acquiring the skill set you need. And you have these.
Or have you already been trained in agriculture?
Right. Or if you're very explicitly going there either as the experts or whatever, or as part of a colony. First of all, if you put too many skills, then you don't have a lot of challenges to overcome.
Right.
But here's some things to think about on a broad scope at least. We'll start there. One of those is going to be, the deforestation. If a tree, imagine all of the surface area that's on a tree, okay? Imagine all of it wet. Now imagine if that tree wasn't there and how much additional water would hit the ground if it wasn't there, okay? So deforestation causes a lot of flooding, which causes a lot of erosion. And that can
undermine buildings, especially temporary buildings, which might not have a deep foundation. Things like that.
Right. And obviously, you're going to have to be worried about water resources and basically the soil. But basically, if you're going to a new place, and this happened, here, it's like, great, let's bring over these seeds and these plants, and let's go to this brave new world or brave new planet or whatever it is.
They tried that. It was called Australia.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a great idea because you've got those things, but when you get there, the climate is different, the soil is different. You've got all these things that now all of a sudden, they just don't grow.
Or they grow too much. They supplant, let's say that you bring a plant over, whether you intend to or not, it might be something that
take over, sure.
Right,
an invasive species.
Yeah, a species that a seed stuck in someone's space boot when they come walking out into the soil.
Now the natives are allergic to it.
Exactly. Or even if, and I didn't take from this that there were natives, although if there are, that adds a whole nother scenario.
No, because natives are great. And if there's a chance for natives, because then you've got communication barriers you need to overcome, and they become a source where now you've got to build, that's a quest, that's an adventure. Build the trust of the natives so they can teach you how to
survive.
Put the fish in the
unless the natives are trying to implant eggs in your chest cavity.
That might be problematic, and it might add some bigger communication barriers. Absolutely.
But at the same time, why are the natives trying to plant eggs in your chest cavity? What does that say about the environment that they had to evolve a means of reproduction that required a non-species third party? That might tell you something about the environment and its particular challenges.
Yeah, and adapting to that might be a problem, though. So let's stick to agriculture.
Okay. Let's stick with agriculture.
Yeah, even the water supply. You may get there and find out that the water supply has something in it that you've never had to encounter before. So you have no fresh water. But what is it? I don't know what it is. The natives know.
Right.
Or
they know how to treat it in a way that makes it potable.
Yeah. And that, of course, is going to be your first,
priority.
Yeah, priority is getting that kind of water. There's a bunch of stuff right there.
So resources, food, water, deforestation.
Emphasizing the difference in the environment, because your agricultural products that you try, aren't going to get. If you want to get resources, now think about what resources can you use from the land. Are you going to find something like a papaya there?
Yeah,
and be able to prepare it. Maybe it's that trial and error. Again,
some things taste good and are poisonous because in our, we've evolved so that poisonous things in generally speaking, taste bad to us.
Mm-hmm.
On another planet, those species, we have not been exposed to those species before. So if there's a fruit or vegetable or plant there, it may be delicious to us or even addictive to us.
Right.
And
addiction, wouldn't that
poisonous.
be fun? Yeah, or send somebody delusional.
He's so excited. He's so excited.
I'm planning an adventure right now. No. Gosh, what else? I had something else, but go on.
Well, another thing that I was thinking about is how you decide, and there are internal aspects to the colony as well, administration. So let's say that, a corporation on Earth is sending out this colony ship, and they have like their little corporate charter, and they say, A, B, and C, and, you're going to be the boss, and you're going to be my manager, and you're in charge of agriculture, and you're in charge of, security. We get out there and you're dead in a meteor strike and you've gone native, and someone comes in and says, there's a security problem. And you say, it's not my problem. I'm running the colony now. So now how do you deal with questions of governance when the real power that sent you out here is totally incommunicado, or even if they can communicate with you, have no power over you.
Right.
So I think there are internal, because of course I'm a lawyer, so I'm always thinking internal issues of governance and who's going to gain. Let's say that the colony comes out there and the people working in this very dangerous, difficult situation discover some resource that is going to make Earth go bananas when it hears about it. Mm-hmm. Like, we are all going to be so rich. Mm-hmm. And according to the corporate charter, that's owned by, Joe Blow, millions of light years away on Earth.
Right.
Are we really going to let Joe Blow take our treasure out from under us just because he got us here? No.
Sounds like we've got an adventure.
Exactly. So questions of how you're going to handle things like property, who's going to decide disputes, and who's going to decide, the success or failure of the colony. Because in America's case, we had a long run as first, a set of Dutch and French and Spanish and English colonies, and then the English sort of dominated that, and, various other empires sold off pieces of it. Maybe there's more than one faction in this colony, and their politics back on Earth is played out in the colonies on this world. And then eventually, if there's some kind of rebellion, maybe they're showing up trying to put down a rebellion in a way that's heavy-handed or something like that.
You're dealing with a culture of, it's like the rules all set. It's a Wild West.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got a lot of those kind of things to pull from. Taking it back to geography, urban planning, just for fun, you might have some stubborn, hard-headed, person that, there is no rule that says I can't put my store or my house right here. This is where I want to put it.
Right.
Because
according to the planning,
things that we took
according to the planning documents, you can't put it there.
Yeah, according to my shotgun, I can.
Right.
But yeah.
So definitely anything related to the frontier. We actually did a whole show on colonization back in the audio days. And
ancient times.
Ancient times.
I love colonization. To me,
it's really
something captures my imagination when I can build or rebuild society. I love apocalyptic type of stuff for the same, or post-apocalyptic stuff for the same kind of reason. I don't know what it is that makes me, romanticize that, but it's just fascinating because we've got a chance to start over, to do something different. And if we could, how could we do that? To me, a lot of the gaming would be about how do we organize ourselves as a party? How do we govern?
How do you decide what's fair?
Yeah, right. I think that'd be exciting. A courtroom type of scenario might be a fun adventure or something to have.
Sure, the law.
You like to play a lawyer, don't you?
Not at all. Not at all. Although it's funny because people in my games like to play lawyers and legal types because they know I'm going to throw in someone that I met or something that I know, and it's going to have the flavor to it that's kind of realistic. So. All right. Well, Chad, I hope that over the last 2 episodes, we've managed to answer your questions enough. If you want more on colonization or any other topic, we have this out of character episode like 200 up above this video, I think people may think that that's just 2 and then like it's the 19th episode of the second season like TV does it. That's not true. We've actually done over 200 episodes. So if you want more, you can always go back to pulpgamer.com and check out all of the audio episodes there. There's one on colonization that I thought was really good. So definitely check that out as well.
And if you got questions.
Oh, yeah. And now if you have questions like Chad's, you can send them to us on Twitter. You can send them to us on Facebook. You can talk to us in the comments on YouTube or on pulpgamer.com. And if you have any questions about scenarios, anything that you want for plot hooks, we have experts that we can call on any subject.
We do.
Absolutely any subject.
It's a network. The gaming network is huge and brilliant. That's
right.
what we're trying to say.
Exactly. Yep. And we can answer your question. You will not be able to stump the chumps. So, but do your best, and we'll see you next time.
PulpGamer.com